What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Crimson Square channel. I promise you, we're going to get way more active on this channel, including going live, more tips, more tricks, and everything that you could want and that we promise from this channel. My name is Jabron. I'm the owner of Crimson Square, and I realized that I didn't really take time to tell my story ever. So even though I've been semi-operating on this channel for a few years, many of you don't know my background and don't know my story. So I'll tell you why I'm technology's middle child and what is the modus operandi of Crimson Square and what got us here. So my mother worked in tech and my father was a teacher. And I kind of merged those two worlds in my profession nowadays. But what kind of started it off was doing everything right and finding out the hard way that hard work wasn't the only thing that I needed to get me ahead. So, made it through school, joined the military, served honorably. I was in a Signal MOS, and then got my first job after college. So I applied for college while on deployment. After deployment, went straight to college, straight through, did my 4 years. About a month or two after graduation, I had my very first job in tech after college, which is exactly what I wanted. Worked there for a few years, and then one day, after a change in leadership, I get called into the office. And I get told that my services are no longer needed. I don't believe or remember there being mass layoffs. I remember it being just me. Now, the peculiar thing about it was I wasn't late, I wasn't disrespectful, I didn't have any flare ups with anybody, I wasn't caught sleeping on the job, I wasn't stealing money, I wasn't stealing equipment. There was no warning at all. The only thing that I remember is that there was a change in leadership. And so then I find myself with a new house, a new bride, and a new child, unemployed. No job, no direction, no fault of my own. There's nothing that I could actively point to that led to this moment, but I realized it was on me to fix. There was no one coming to save me. And I could rely on my mother and my father, my brother and my sister. But what good is that to be a burden on them? So that's when I realized, why would someone else hire me when I didn't hire myself? Now, as a middle child, I was always kind of feral, even in my disciplines. Meaning, even though I went to school for IST, I was interested in the policy side of tech. I was interested into the programming side of tech, and I was definitely interested in bridging that gap between the end user and the business. Often in tech, the person that's doing the technology side of it doesn't understand the business of it, and vice versa. And so at that point, I decided to create Crimson Square. And Crimson Square initially was web design. At that point in time, that was where some of my skill set was in web design. So going out and sourcing clients while being unemployed led me to going all in on Crimson Square. Eventually, we added SEO. And then later on down the line, when trying to differentiate, okay, what would make me different than any other agency in terms of offerings? That's when we decided to go into social media, which is the bulk of our business now, which is social media strategy. And all of those things in the past still kind of shape how we operate today, where we have a great understanding of the technology that goes into social media, but also the strategy needed for businesses to thrive in that busy, hectic environment that we know as social media. And so, through all those trials and tribulations and that worry and doubt about myself and learning to rely on myself and be curious about the world and not be so pigeonholed to a specific discipline or a specific way to thinking about things ultimately allowed me to share those experiences with you and to help you experience and figure out what you want to do with the vast experience that you have. That's the goal here. No gatekeeping, no sweeping things under the rug. We're going to stick to things and systems that help you exponentially grow without going through the roughest times of your life and keeping you in control. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, and it definitely isn't going to be easy, but it is going to be worth it. So, if you have any questions, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. Thank you for supporting me, whether you're new or you're old. Thank you so much for supporting me. There are so many other channels to watch, so I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. So put in the comments, what do you want to see from us? What will be helpful to you, and what are you most looking forward to in 2026? Have a great time, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Later.